Search interest in by XRP is spiking sharply, and that's raising a big question. Does this mean XRP is about to explode higher, or is this actually a warning sign? According to Google Trends, global search volume for the phrase by XRP just hit 33 out of 100 on the 5-year scale. That may not sound like a massive number, but it's the highest level we've seen in months, and it follows XRP's brief rally above the $3 mark earlier this week. But here's where it gets interesting and a little complicated. While most would assume rising search interest means increasing demand and therefore a bullish outlook, historical data tells a different story. Let's break this down. When many people suddenly search for by XRP, it suggests a wave of new retail interest, often from investors who may have missed the earlier gains. This isn't unique to XRP. It's a common pattern across the crypto market. When an asset makes headlines for strong performance, interest from the general public follows. But by that point, much of the upside may have already been priced in. In fact, if we look at XRP's history, the best times to buy were not during search spikes, but when almost no one was talking about it. Between mid-2022 and most of 2023, search interest for by XRP was consistently low, and that, according to long-term holders, was the true accumulation period. So, what we're seeing now could be what many traders call a top signal, an indication that the asset may be approaching short-term exhaustion. Now let's talk about price. According to CoinGecko, XRP is currently trading around $2.84, slightly down from its recent peak above $3 earlier this week. But it's still up nearly 25% over the last 7 days. That rally, of course, is what brought in this fresh wave of attention. And it's important to understand that search spikes often follow price, not lead it. Meaning, a surge in interest doesn't necessarily predict future gains. It more often reflects past momentum. So if you're a trader looking for signals, this may not be the time to blindly jump in just because the search trends are pointing upward. Should investors be concerned? Well, not necessarily. A spike in interest is not always bearish, but it should be seen as a sign to proceed with caution. Historically, markets often peak when everyone is suddenly talking about buying. That doesn't mean XRP can't go higher, but it does mean the risk-to-reward ratio becomes less favorable for new entrants at this stage. Also, keep in mind that external factors can influence XRP's price direction, from regulatory developments with Ripple and the SEC to macro events like Bitcoin's performance or institutional activity around XRP futures and ETFs. These all shape XRP's trajectory far more than search volume alone. So, is the spike in by XRP searches bullish or bearish? The answer is it depends. For those who bought XRP during the quiet months of 2022 and 2023, this moment might be validation. For those considering entry now, it's a time to be thoughtful, not reactive. The Google Trends data is a useful tool, but it works best when combined with broader market analysis, price structure, and sentiment. Use it as a signal to check your emotions rather than as a reason to buy. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next deep dive into the crypto markets.